happy 2025 to my ballistic blood brothers and sisters in arms. Man, I've been looking forward to 2025. Wouldn't take a whole lot to beat what went on in 2024, but it was still not as bad as the last few for me. So I'm really looking forward to a positive 2025 and bringing you along with me. Anyway, here we are in January, the beginning of the year. I live in Maine, so it's a little bit cold, a little bit frozen. Kind of difficult to get on the range as much as I'd like to, and we have some construction projects going on anyway that make it very, very difficult. So I'm looking forward to getting out there really soon. But I wanted to start by giving you an update, giving you a good thought, some pleasant thoughts as we go into 2025, and letting you know what we have coming up for cool projects. Happy New Year. That's not just a knee-jerk tiding from the hip. I mean that. Happy New Year to you. And a Happy New Year, it looks like it's going to be. Let me explain. If you look at what we're losing with the Biden administration leaving and a new administration coming in on January 20th, there is a lot of baggage that we're leaving behind. And thank God we are. I want you to think a little bit about what we've been through as law-abiding gun owners and how important it is that we move out of this funk. The Biden Justice Department clown show is just that. It's an absolute clown show. It's a joke. Typical of most administrations, they don't do very well in passing actual gun control laws through the normal typical process, the legislative process, the process that our founding fathers set up to change and pass laws. So they cheat and they do things through executive order. So through executive order, the current ATF has been asked to do whatever they can do to usurp our rights and have it fly under the radar so they don't have to go through Congress to do it. They don't have to take the normal legal channels to do it. So what have they done? See if you hear a connection here. First, they decided to get rid of the pistol braces that we've been using for so many years, thanks to our terrific friend Alex at SB Tactical and the pistol braces that he created and all that they've done for our industry. And they wanted to get rid of those, so what did they do? They changed the definition of the word rifle. By changing the definition of the word rifle, they made it almost impossible for them to be considered a pistol anymore. Therefore, that brace wasn't legal under this redefinition. Then they needed a new crisis, so they created another term called ghost guns. And all that is, all that means, all that's making reference to are the same homemade firearms that we've been working with since this nation was founded. People have made their own firearms, tinkered with their new firearms, created their own firearms since before we were a nation. And we continue to do that moving forward. So to stop that, they created the term ghost gun at first. Ghost gun, like that's somehow going to scare people. Firearms that don't have any numbers leading back to a major manufacturer. Well, we can go back almost 250 years and see that we've been doing that every single year. So there obviously isn't a problem. No legislation passed to change it. So what did they do? They changed the definition of a firearm. So the definition of a firearm then included things that were not firearms. So we couldn't get any parts or pieces to finish any of these firearms. Thirdly, they wanted to shut us down with any type of device that modified the rate of fire of a firearm, made it faster to shoot, made it quicker to function, changed it in any capacity. Did they pass legislation and say this isn't legal and go about the right channels and allow the Supreme Court to weigh in? No. They changed the definition of machine gun. By changing the definition of machine gun to include the things they wanted to take away, usurp from us, they said this is our purview as ATF. We can regulate machine guns. We've determined these are all clearly machine guns, so you can't have them. You noticing a pattern here? They're changing time-honored, codified definitions of words, and then claiming they have oversight to modify and to oversee these issues, but they clearly don't. Changing definitions to words is a dangerous thing, and it can have an outcome that nobody can foresee or desire, or very few people can foresee and desire them, maybe the people that are doing this for that specific reason. So we ended up with several activist judges, activist courts, activist state legislatures, and they just started banning things left and right. And eventually SCOTUS stepped in, and with the plain crystal clear language from Bruin, Heller 2, and the Heller case, combined with getting rid of the Chevron doctrine, which basically allowed any government agency to be the last word, the final word, the arbiter of truth on every single issue. That's gone now, by the way. Now facts, clarity, and reality can come back into the subject. So since this involvement started, bump stocks, any of these triggers, devices that affect the rate of fire, perfectly legal again. They're not machine guns, therefore they can't be treated as machine guns. Homemade firearms, they're not ghost guns, and parts that are not firearms are simply not firearms, therefore they're not regulated. ATF has no authority to regulate those parts, and the courts have said so. So those are back on the table again. And with pistol braces, rifles are not pistols, and pistols are not rifles. And each definition means something. Words mean something in reality. Not this clown show circus that we've been through for the last 4 years. And with that being the final decision, those braces are back on the table again. So it's just like the Biden administration never even existed. So all that they've done has been erased. All the terrible things they did has been erased. We're moving forward with a clean slate. And the beauty of this is there are several cases in front of the Supreme Court right now, and with just a little bit of good luck and a whole lot of fact, which they seem to be showing us they're still capable of using, there probably aren't going to be many anti-gun laws and rules and verdicts anymore, because the courts aren't going to be allowed to rule that way. For the first time in my life, the Second Amendment is going to be viewed just like all the other amendments, and those of us that pay attention to it and practice it are not going to be treated like second-class citizens in the eyes of the courts anymore. At least that's the way it looks, based on facts and history and the way things are moving forward. And that's a really exciting thing. It's awesome to get back all of the things that were endangered over the last 4 years, but imagine bringing back the acknowledgement or the recognition of those rights that we've lost in 94 and 89 and 86 and 68 and 34. I mean, the Supreme Court has a really straightforward way of determining whether something is legal or not under the Constitution, under the Second Amendment, and a whole lot of the things that we've been told for some of us all our lives are just not legal. I think we're going to find a lot of those things absolutely are legal, and it's time for the recognition of those. It's important to understand that the Second Amendment doesn't give us any rights. The Constitution doesn't give us any rights. Those are our rights. Those are God-given rights that we're guaranteed and we're born with. All these documents do is acknowledge the existence of them and give the courts and the legislatures guidance moving forward, telling them exactly how much power they have to regulate them. And I think we're going to find they don't have quite as much power as they thought they did, even going way, way, way back. And that's exciting to me, and that makes this a very happy new year. So what's coming up moving forward? Number one, we have a lot of construction going on at the test facility. A lot of cleaning up from a really terrible storm that we got that just toppled trees everywhere and blocked ranges and ruined things. If you've been around for the last year, you saw the cleaning up that we did last February, 13 months ago, cleaning up from an original storm. Now we have even more cleanup to do. So we've got woods crews coming in. We're going to clean everything up. We're opening all the roads back up. The ranges are going to be ready to go. I'll get some drone footage as soon as it's ready. to show you how we're coming there. And we've got a lot of new equipment coming in, some new test equipment, so we can really hit the ground moving fast. For immediate projects, I'm working on some things that I like, things that I enjoy. And I really like night vision and thermal imaging. And I've got some new night vision products to look at, again, when we come out of the gate and start testing products again. One of them is supposed to replace the practicality of a set of nods, something with stereo night vision that mounts on a helmet or on a headband if you don't have or need a helmet, that gives you nice clear viewing, HD recording that comes in at about 1/8 of the price. And to see how fast technology has really ramped up other night vision products and thermal imaging and all kinds of electronics, I'm really excited about testing these moving forward. And you're going to have a front row seat doing that with me. Also, I bought another flamethrower. I couldn't resist. I picked up another flamethrower. There's no better time to be working with that than when everything is frozen as far as I can see. So that's going to be a project that's going to happen sooner than later, and you're welcome to come along with me on that too. Leave me some notes in the below the description of this video. Let me know what you want to torch. What do you want to see with a flamethrower? Keeping in mind that it's a really safe time of year to use it when everything else is frozen. And lastly, addressing questions that you've been sending me. And as much as this makes me laugh, one of the most common questions is, hey, where the hell did you get all that hair? Where did that come from? So if you've been watching the channel, and it is funny, for a number of years, you know that I've been bald for 25 years. I've been shaving my head for longer than I've been standing in front of a video camera. And now, well, obviously not so much. It's back. And I think the reason for it is I got so close to that bright white light a couple of years ago. I required emergency surgeries and life flight, and but I needed several transfusions, platelet and blood transfusions. And I'm guessing, and this is a 100% completely uneducated guess, because I have zero medical knowledge, even though I like to refer to myself as a gun ecologist. Don't know anything medical, just gun stuff, some gun stuff. A lot of you know a lot more than I do. But I'm thinking that somehow it altered my biology. So I went from being a bald dude to being a guy that isn't bald anymore. Don't know how long I'm going to mess with this. I'm kind of having fun. I think I'm going to grow it out long enough to cut it off and donate it to Locks of Love. And then I'll either go back to shaving my head again or having it cut like a normal human being, trying not to look like I want to star and roll on the set for a throwback to the old Woodstock movie. It's going to be one or the other. So that's what's going on there. Yes, I'm feeling better. Gained all my weight back that I lost during that. I'm fatter than I've ever been, so now I've got to start getting back in shape again now that I'm feeling better, and looking forward to an awesome 2025. And it wouldn't be anywhere near as important if I wasn't doing it with you. So thank you for being a longtime follower, if you have been. Thank you for just tuning in if this is your first video. I apologize, it's so boring. Typically we do a lot of shooting during the videos and not so much gabbing. But stick around, that's going to get more exciting. I hope that you enjoyed this quick update. Please look at the good things that are happening, because it's really easy to hear all the crap and it's kind of difficult to see through the fog for the good things that are happening. And the best that they had to throw at us with this administration was changing the definition to words. And it looks like the courts are saying, no, you can't do that. And that's really good news for you and I. If you did enjoy it, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Check out Bunker Branding. You can see the merch that we have. We've got some really cool shirts over there, and very soon I'll be adding some more merch to that as well. The quality is terrific. The prices are good. The shipping is lightning fast. They're a terrific group of people to deal with, and there'll be a link for that in the description below the video. Anyway, happy 2025. Thanks for being part of my family. And we'll see you soon. Till next time, have fun and be safe.